be an amazing season. Now you are Mr. Hamptons.
These days.
Yes, you're wearing a whole Hampton-esque linen moment.
I mean, I brought a little bit of Hamptons here to Los Angeles.
You were at the scene of the crime with Justin Timberlake.
This story won't go away. I don't understand it.
Because there's never really anything negative about Justin Timberlake. And I read a whole article in some important paper, or it was like an opinion piece in the New York Times about why people are strangely enjoying that Justin Timberlake is being taken down, because they're like, he's skated through everything. The Janet Jackson, the Britney Spears, and that he's always just gotten away with, in hindsight, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," and people are sort of taking this perverse joy in this.
They are, who's taking real perverse joy in this is Perez Hilton.
Yes.
Perez Hilton is obsessed.
Yes, and I love him. I've loved him forever. Yeah. You love him, you hate him. I know him as a person. He's a fantastic dad. He's a wonderful son to his mother. So that aside, but Perez is like living for this.
And I mean, is it because, why Perez? Why are people so, is it because they're like huge Britney Spears fans? I don't understand.
But you were literally down the street when this happened, so just walk us through this.
Down the street when this happened, I went to, first of all, American Hotel where it happened is like our regular place. Right. I went there the night after. Yeah, I mean, he went in, was he drinking before he got there? I mean, probably. He says he only had one drink there.
Well, and the bartender just came out confirming he only served him one drink.
Only served him one drink.
But you said one drink there.
Well, I mean, now there's this whole thing. There was like, it was all alcohol. I mean, it's like vodka in a martini glass, which is my drink at American Hotel, too. I mean, it is like vodka in a martini glass, chilled with a lemon or a lime twist. That is my drink. Are the glasses big? Sure. They're not bigger than anywhere else. It's a martini.
I love the fact that you had the same drink, that's your drink.
Yeah, of course.
So what happened?
So he left, and apparently now the policeman is actually now on page 6. I don't know if you saw this, they're doing a background check on him, and they're saying he's very likes to stop a lot of people and is making a name for himself. Well, he left, and apparently he was warned, you shouldn't be drinking, you shouldn't be driving, you shouldn't be driving. I mean, then he drove. Did I tell you the rumor that it was that he was on his way to Jimmy? Which one is the one he's friends with, Fallon or Kimmel? He was on the way. Jimmy Fallon lives in Sagaponack. So
and they're besties.
Besties.
But for real.
For real besties. And, I think they both do like to have a drink or two, which no judgment, because I like to have a drink or two.
Or three.
Or three. But that's where, right?
Yeah,
three.
It's fine. Just don't drive.
Just don't drive. This is why I live in town, basically. Apparently he was on the way to his house. That's what the rumor is.
And what I read was he blew through a stop sign and then was weaving.
Yes.
And that's when he got pulled over. And then the story I heard was that the cop is so young that he didn't even know who Justin Timberlake was, which I think for Justin is probably the worst part of all of it.
Right. And there's something I forgot the language, something about, he said I hope this doesn't affect the tour, I guess he said. And the cop was like, what tour? And he said world tour. It's kind of funny. By the way, I'm going to see Justin Timberlake in October in New York. But just want to put that out there.
You live literally, you said 3 doors down. And you got up the next morning and it was a zoo. You saw an ABC truck here, an NBC truck, Fox, Page 6. I mean, it was, yes, there's a lot of celebrities in the Hamptons, but each little town is a small, quiet, to see just media. And what's really funny is Billy Joel, who also lives right 2 seconds away, was stopped because they were literally pointed at the hotel for hours the next time. He's gone, people. I don't know what you're looking for. Why would you ever stay there at the scene of the crime? Justin is long gone. Oh, yeah.
But Billy Joel was just strolling down the street, and they stopped him, and they asked him, and he's like, Billy Joel also has had some incidents of driving in the Hamptons.
Yes, so, he is not innocent, nor, let's just say he's well-versed in this particular topic in the Hamptons.
He is well-versed in this particular topic in the Hamptons, and he was smart to just say, I don't know, JT, so I'm not going to comment.
Very smart. The best part of the whole thing was that Britney Spears' song "Criminal" shot up the charts immediately.
Isn't this crazy?
But you gotta love that.
The Britney army.
Not even the Britney army, that people kind of get how, and I think this is part of the Taylor Swift effect, that you can send messages. They always talk about how you can send messages through your clothing. Well, apparently with these pop stars, you can send messages through your songs, and your fans will then, if you don't do it, we'll do it for you.
Yeah. I mean, Britney's just like, okay,
this is all good.
Let's make a few extra dollars today.
Exactly, the publishing rights. So out here in LA, all we're talking about is Ben and Jen. So there is a lot of smoke. Don't know if there's fire. I personally think there's sort of two or three things might be happening. And one of them, I think, is a little bit of a look over here instead of looking here kind of thing, which we'll get to in a minute.
We'll get to that because I heard that too.
Yeah. So first of all, so he apparently moved out of the house. Secretly, the house is supposed to be for sale. He was seen without his wedding ring, but yet they've been at events together. Apparently at the kids' graduation, all they did was air kiss. They arrived separately. They left separately. Okay, now I do know a lot of, not actors, but more directors and actors, and especially someone like Ben who's directing himself and is an Academy Award winner. Very often they are very complicated to live with during the process. They can't have distraction. And he would not be the first one I've heard of that literally does not live at home while they're shooting.
Is he shooting a movie now?
He is shooting a movie now, or just wrapped a movie. So it could be there could be a lot of that. And during a Kevin Hart interview, this just was all over the place, which he which he taped months ago, he talked about how hard her level of fame is for him.
He did, yeah.
He was very open about it, and that was taped a couple months ago. He has also very openly said he does not like the cameras in his face all the time. He has openly said, she lives for this stuff.
Although lately she seems to be getting annoyed with all everywhere she goes.
Exactly, but she self-financed a documentary about the two of them. He was not thrilled, but he did it because it's his partner. And so clearly there's been a little bit of rub, but then just this morning I saw that he was seen leaving the marital home last night. So
like at 1 a.m. or at like 4 p.m.?
Well, it was dark. I did not,
okay.
You know what?
These are important
These are important
like...
things. I just read that it didn't say the time. It just said he didn't stay over.
Okay.
But that means nothing.
That means nothing.
As far as I'm concerned.
I'm trying to make it mean something in real time. But
and you and I have discussed this. There's a second school of thought, which is the documentary did